Today we're going to make some buildings for our Starry Night picture. Now you're going to get a bunch of different types of paper today to make your buildings because we are going to be cutting and gluing to make our buildings. So before I start making my buildings, I'm thinking about the different shapes that I'm going to use. Most buildings in real life are geometric shapes. I see a lot of rectangle buildings, a lot of squares. Sometimes I might even see a triangle on top for the roof. So I'm going to think about using these shapes when I start drawing on my paper. Now I'm going to get some smaller papers to make windows, and I want to use my bigger papers to make buildings. So I'm going to take my drawing tool, and I'm going to start by drawing some nice big geometric buildings. So I might start by drawing a rectangle. And maybe I want to have a building that is a square. I cannot draw a building that looks like this, because that is not a geometric shape. That doesn't work very well for the project that we're doing. Now after you've carefully drawn your geometric shapes, we're going to cut them out with scissors. So I'm just going to cut right on my straight line. You have to draw and cut out your geometric shapes carefully, because if they're not drawn carefully, then they might not look like a geometric shape at all. There's one rectangle, and here's my square building. If you can see a little bit of your pencil lines around the edge, sometimes I like to just flip my buildings over so that we have nice, clean paper without any pencil lines on it. Now, if you want to, you can trade some papers with your neighbor. If you want to whisper to your neighbor that you would trade them some dark blue for some light blue, that's fine with me. And then you can have buildings that are different colors. So maybe for this one, I can make a smaller rectangle and cut that out. Now after I have a few buildings cut out, I probably want to add some windows to them. Now since this project is called Starry Night, our buildings are going to look like nighttime buildings. So at night, when you have the lights turned on in a building, it's going to look like yellow windows glowing. So instead of drawing a whole bunch of windows, some people think, oh, I have to draw all these squares and then cut out each square. Well, I have kind of a trick to show you so that you don't have to do that. I'm going to cut a strip of paper, and then I can cut my strip into windows that are all the same size. And it goes way faster than drawing each of them out. So now when you have a yellow window, it looks like someone has the light on inside the building. Now when I see buildings in downtown Kansas City where I live, they aren't just all over the building like this, all crazy. They are in nice, neat little rows. So I'm going to lay these out nice and straight, just like a real building. And I don't have to have all of my windows with the lights on. Maybe a few of the rooms in the building are dark. That looks very realistic too. Whenever I'm driving around at night, sometimes people are home with their lights on, and sometimes people are gone, and they maybe have their lights switched off. There. Now when you have your windows all laid out, we are going to get some really good practice making tiny glue dots because these windows are really small. So I only need one tiny dot of glue on each window. And I'm just going to keep on adding glue dots until they are all glued down. Now all my windows are glued on nice and straight. I can add other details like doors. These are glass doors. They have their lights on, it looks like. I could add details like a geometric shape for a chimney. Actually, I don't think I like the way that looks glued in front. Instead of gluing it on the front, this might be better. I might add a little more glue, glue it to the back. Ooh, I like that a lot more. Or you could maybe cut out some geometric shapes like a triangle to add to the roof. You can add whatever geometric shapes you want to your buildings. After I finish one building, I'm just going to keep on making more and more for the rest of the class.